Well, one way I'm trying to keep dementia at bay, because in my family there is some dementia there. Not exactly sure of what sort, but it is definitely there. And one of my ways to work against that or prevent it is music, to learn instruments, to learn to read music, to learn to play it. And yeah, I went into a little bit of a dive into the benefits of learning an instrument or music after 60, and there was lots. And so I'll just narrow it down to, I don't know, about 12. We'll see. And first off, it has been a while since I've played a piano. I was basically self-taught, so don't expect some wonders. I started when I was young, doing some Royal Conservatory of Music stuff, and God, I hated it. I didn't like it. Started off with accordion, hated that. And then a little bit of piano, but learning classical stuff, music that I don't even like. Yeah, not if you don't like the stuff you're learning, your heart's not even in it. So I dropped that, and so I just kind of tinkered around at it and started teaching myself whatever I could. And yeah, haven't played in many years. And this piano was, I got her about, oh gosh, over 10 years ago. And so she hasn't been tuned in, well, since I got her. They set her up and tuned her, and then that was it. And in there, we did that big move, and I really couldn't get a hold of anybody to come and tune her, and it was really out and twangy and not pleasant to play. And so I just kept it covered, didn't do much. And then I found this young man, and he's quite brilliant. I quite like him. He's only 22 and just starting out in this field. Doesn't have a master's in anything. He's just young and patient and diligent, and he worked very hard, and he got this tune very nicely.
It wasn't so rolly. There we go.
Good thing you're limber.
Yeah. It's quite. Less humidity, but all my felt's super warm on my piano. So like,
And I was filming him when he was doing this, and I'll show you some clips. But he was also building a Facebook page for his own little business. So I sent to him the videos that I had taken, and he was very happy, and he's like, "You rock," and I'm like, "Yes, I do." And so I said, well, now that I've got Baby G all tuned up, I can start rocking myself. And so I said that I was going to work on a little Motley Crue, a little rock and roll, Home Sweet Home. And I thought, well, what old lady going to be practicing that? That's going to impress this young lad. And so he messages back, very encouraging, saying that it is golden era music. Golden era music. Golden era. That sounds very old. That sounds very nursing home or playing the golden oldies kind of stuff is how I felt. So yeah, didn't impress anybody that I'm playing some classic rock and roll stuff. That's kind of the stuff I like, and whether it's gospel or your country stuff, there's just certain songs I like, and I pick at it until I kind of figure it out. That's good enough for me. I'm not playing in any band right now. I did once. I played in my ex-husband's band for New Year's. I learned a set. I learned a set of music on the keyboards, and I jumped in, and that was frightening, and I loved it, and it was fun. And so, yeah, let me just grab my notes. What do we learn? It's a part of your exercise program. Clearly, you're learning sit up, you're learning to move your arms. I have a drum kit. Right back there. And I'll be working on that. And yeah, when you're playing your drums, you're certainly working out your arms and your legs. And so it's a good part of your exercise program. It certainly adds to it. And I know I can do a lot longer working with music or with dance than I can just walking on a treadmill or doing anything. Music just kind of takes you away, and you get a lot more from it. And so yeah, it's great for your exercise program. 2, it is quite therapeutic. When you're feeling all stressed out or anxious or depressed or what have you, you crack out your instruments and start playing, start singing if you sing. It just brings you out of that stressful time that you have. Number 3, sense of achievement, especially if you're not naturally brilliant on the instruments, and I am not naturally brilliant on anything. Anything that I have ever had to do, whether it's going to school, taking classes, courses, learning anything, I've had to pick at it, struggle at it, work at it, piece by piece by piece, learn it. I know the people. I've seen the people. They pick up any instrument and they can just play, right? You probably met them. It's not me. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and each piece that finally comes together and sounds decent, you feel good. There's the sense of accomplishment, and when you finally get that whole piece figured out and you can play it from beginning to end, well, that just feels great. And although I do notice when I'm playing by myself, I'm quite brilliant. When I'm playing in front of somebody, I'm probably for here. Mistakes happen. I was like that at work. You got somebody watching me do a procedure at work, and I'm just fumble fingers. By myself, I'm fine. Performance anxiety. As I try to learn this one again, it's been a while. Gotta work them synapses. Take 153. It opens the doors to making new friends. And that's kind of if you even talk to other people about what you're doing for music, or if you join some sort of group or function or what have you. For instance, I'm also starting on the ukulele, and I've played guitar longer, And so ukulele is to kind of play with our Jasmine, who's 10, so her fingers are kind of better on those 4 strings. And it's harder for me to learn because I'm used to the chord positions on the guitar, and the same chords are so different on the ukulele. So I'm learning that piece by bit. And I'm teaching myself to a certain point, and I noticed in the town next door there's a group called Ukin in the Rockies. Ukin in the Rockies, and they meet once a week at the library, and it's just a group of people that get together and jam. And so I figure maybe when I'll see what time it is. It depends on whether Jasmine feels okay to be alone. And right now she does not. And so that's going to be on hold because husband doesn't get home from work till probably this is over. So I'll check the time on this. But if it's at a safe time, I'll join it when I've got maybe 10 chords under my belt. I'll join this group and get to know some people. I was looking at the pictures and there's a few gray hairs in there. And so I'll probably have more in common with them. And so that's, a way to make friends. It says to learn to read music and put it all together strengthens your cognitive abilities. It puts the synapses together, gets them working, new paths through your brain. Learning, it's like learning a new language, right? The start is really rough, but as soon as you get it going, and you get the brain going, and it just helps with the cognitive issues of yourself and all these things that you're gaining as far as physical or mental. It translates to other areas of your life too. So that music is really a great thing to have. It improves concentration. Now in our world, and maybe you're even noticing it, it's kind of becoming more ADHD out there. Everybody's been diagnosed with ADHD. And when I was looking at the causes of this, a lot has to do with the devices that we have, spending so much time on social medias or the immediate gratification, being able to download shows, you don't even have to see advertisements. It's just immediate. Whatever you want is there quickly, and you don't have to concentrate on anything. And if you're bored, you flick to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And hard to have any concentration, but to learn a piece, to study, you actually have to focus, you actually have to concentrate, you actually have to slow yourself down. And so, it's a good way to counteract some of the ADHD things that we are doing to ourselves. At least that's what I'm doing for me. Strengthens mental performance and memory. It's kind of like a workout for the brain. There are some evidence that shows that this is really helpful after a stroke. And when you're our age, you just don't know if and when that's going to happen. Now, I remember studying as a nurse, the risk factors for having a stroke was fair, fat, 40. I am fair, I'm fat, I am very past 40. So they use music as a way to rehab people and to get things working again. You increase your coordination because you have to combine, with your piano, your hands, the foot pedal, right? And what you're looking at or what you're thinking of, and both your hands, your bass side, your treble side, having it all working together. On the guitar, it's of course, again, the two hands are doing two very different things. If you're on the drums, you're working all 4 of your limbs. You've got your feet on the bass drum and the hi-hats, and you've got the 2 sticks in your hand. And you're just working out and being very, very coordinated, because if you aren't coordinated, you sound like crap. And so it certainly helps with your coordination. And as we get older, we really, really could use that. And it works with fine motor movements, especially in your hands, with your small instruments, your pianos, and just to keep them working and muscular, because pretty soon arthritis tries to set in, right? And so it helps with your fine motor movement. So this is a really great addition to, let's say, any workout program you have, or I am not going to a gym, I'm going to be doing it here. It promotes self-expression. Like you can learn the basics of a piece of music, so it sounds familiar to whoever, but you can add whatever flair you want. The more flair, the better. You've heard people saying they can sing the one piece of music and it can be very note by note by note, but you hear somebody else singing it and they are able to trill up and down and go all over the place like a fine-tuned instrument. And so yeah, you add your own flair, you do your own self-expression, and that is great for us all. And did you know, small bursts of musical training helps in the blood flow to the brain. This is all great and wonderful. Keep that blood flowing. Playing music just can make you happy, right? It can work with whatever emotions you have. Actually, you play a sad piece of music, you can just bring on the tears. But yeah, playing something on an instrument, on the drums actually is great for getting out your aggression or your whatever. If something's really stressful and ick coming along, beating up on the drums is a great thing. But yeah, it helps you to make you happy, and we could use much more happiness in this life. Playing on the instruments releases the feel good, like dopamine and endorphins, just all the feel good chemicals in your brain, and it also has a calming effect. And if you've paid attention to the world around you, we could use more of this calming effect. Getting away from the news, getting away from the social medias and anything that's triggering, and just you and your instrument and just learning and playing and working that noodle. So yeah, I'm going to talk to my 10-year-old and ask what the old 22-year-olds are into these days, because, you know, these 10-year-olds, the ones in their 20s are very, very old. This reminds me of a story that Owen told when we were first dating. His twins were about 15, 16, and my daughter, who was in her late 20s, was texting him. And so they're asking, well, who are you texting, Dad? Well, Annette's daughter, who's like 29, and they were shocked that someone as old and ancient as my daughter, who is late 20s, would even know how to text. So you see, I'm going to talk to the 10-year-old, see what the 22-year-old elders are into. And so the next time he comes in a year or two to tweak and tune this thing, maybe I'll have something that will have him going, ooh. This is not golden era music. But I'm a golden era girl. I'm going to be doing golden era music. This is Annette from Carpe Omnia After 60. Keep playing your music, keep learning, just keep growing. Take care of yourself.